Welcome back to Vocabify English channel. My dear students, take a deep breath and relax. For the next few minutes, I want you to forget everything you think you know about learning English. Forget the textbooks. Forget the grammar charts. Forget the fear of the red pen. Just listen to my voice. That's it. Just listen. Today's lesson is called No Grammar, Just Listen. Speak English fluently in 7 days. I already know what some of you are thinking. Teacher, that's impossible. I've studied English for 10 years and I still freeze up. I understand that feeling completely. I've watched it happen in my classroom 1,000 times. You know the rules. You've passed the tests. You could probably diagram a sentence better than most native speakers. But the moment someone asks you a real question, how was your weekend? Your mind goes blank and your throat closes up. You know the words. You just can't find the door to let them out. Here's a secret nobody tells you. No baby has ever learned to talk by studying a grammar book. A baby spends the first 2 years of life doing nothing but listening, absorbing, rhythm, tone, melody, the shape of sounds, long before any of it means anything. They hear up 1,000 times before they ever say it. They hear the rise and fall of a question before they understand what a question even is. Then, one day, without warning, the baby just speaks. Badly at first, full of mistakes. They say goy instead of went. They say mines instead of mine. And nobody corrects every single one, because everyone understands that mistakes are simply part of the process, proof that learning is happening, not proof of failure. Within a couple of years, that same baby is chatting away non-stop, never once thinking about verb conjugation. We need to become babies again. Not in intelligence in approach. We need to stop analyzing the language like a puzzle to be solved and start absorbing it like water soaking into soil. I'm not saying grammar is worthless. Of course, it matters eventually. But it is not the first priority if your immediate goal is to actually open your mouth and speak. Here's the real problem, and I want you to really hear this. For most learners, the obstacle isn't a lack of knowledge, it's translation. Let me walk you through what's actually happening in your brain right now when you try to speak. Someone asks you a question in English. Step 1. Your brain silently translates that question into your native language so you can understand it. Step 2. You think of an answer, but you think of it in your native language, because that's the language your brain naturally reasons in. Step 3. You translate that answer, word by word, back into English. Step 4. While translating, you pause to double-check the grammar. Is it went or have gone? Is it the or no article at all? Step 5. Finally, you speak. Do you see the problem? That's 5 separate mental steps happening for a single sentence. In a real conversation, by the time you've finished step 5, the other person has already moved on to a new topic. You're always one sentence behind your own conversation. That's not a vocabulary problem. That's a processing problem. And no amount of memorizing new words will fix it. Because the bottleneck was never your vocabulary. It was the 5-step detour your brain takes every single time you try to speak. The fix is to skip translation completely. Connect. English sounds directly to meaning, directly to feeling, directly to pictures in your mind, the same way your native language already lives in your head, with no detour required. When you hear dog in your native language, you don't translate it. You just see the dog. That's the exact relationship I want you to eventually have with English. And the doorway to that kind of direct connection is listening a lot of it and the right kind of it. R-R-D. So, for the next 7 days, I want you to commit to one simple habit. At least 45 minutes a day of active, focused listening. I need to be precise about what I mean by active. I don't mean background noise while you scroll your phone or fold laundry. That's passive listening, and honestly, it barely helps. I mean sitting down, giving the audio your full attention, the way you'd watch a movie you actually care about. Podcasts, interviews, audiobooks, YouTube videos, movie scenes, anything spoken in natural, unscripted sounding English. And here's the important part. The part that goes against everything you were taught in school. You are not trying to catch every word. You are not pausing every 10 seconds to look up a term in the dictionary. You are letting the sound wash over you, the rhythm, the music, the rise and fall of the sentences, the way certain words get squeezed together and others get stretched out for emphasis. Think of English less like a math formula and more like a song. When you listen to a song you love in a language you don't fully understand, you don't stop the music to analyze the grammar of the lyrics, you feel it. You catch the melody before you catch the meaning. You hum along long before you know every word. That's exactly the relationship I want you to build with English this week. Melody before meaning, feeling before analysis. One of the most powerful tools for building that relationship is something called shadowing. And I want to explain exactly how it works, because it's the technique most people skip, and it's the one that matters most. You take a short clip. 30 seconds is plenty. Even 15 is fine when you're starting out, and you listen to it 2 or 3 times just to get familiar with it. Then you play it again, and this time, instead of just listening, you try to speak along with the speaker in real time, like you're their shadow, staying exactly on their heels. Same rhythm, same stress, same rise and fall in your voice. You're not translating anything. You don't even have time to translate. The audio keeps moving whether you keep up or not, and that's actually the whole point. You won't understand every word while you're doing this, and that's fine. Genuinely fine. Not just something I'm saying to make you feel better. The goal at this stage isn't comprehension. The goal is training your mouth and your ear to work as one connected system instead of 2 separate ones, so that the sounds of English start to feel physically natural in your mouth instead of foreign and awkward. I know the fear that's sitting in the back of your mind right now, because I've heard it from students in almost every single class I've ever taught. What if I sound silly? What if someone laughs? Let me be completely honest with you about this. The people who would laugh at your mistakes are not the people worth speaking to in the first place. Their opinion was never going to help you anyway. The people who actually matter are the ones trying to understand you, trying to connect with you. And understanding has absolutely nothing to do with perfection. When a toddler says, "wah wah" for water, nobody laughs them out of the room and refuses to get them a drink. The parent understands. The connection happens instantly. And that connection, not the grammar, is the entire point of language. Now, let's walk through the 7 days in detail, because each day builds directly on the one before it. Day 1 is pure listening, no speaking at all yet. Choose one short piece of audio, somewhere between 1 and 3 minutes long. A podcast clip, a short talk, a scene from a movie, and listen to it 5 separate times, with a specific focus each time. First pass, just get the general feeling and topic, nothing more. Second pass, ignore the meaning entirely and focus only on rhythm and stress. Which words get emphasized, where the speaker's voice rises and falls. Third pass, Try to pick out 5 or 6 individual words you recognize, even if you don't understand the full sentence around them. Fourth pass. Try writing down 2 or 3 short phrases you can actually catch, exactly as you hear them. Fifth pass. Relax completely. Stop trying so hard, and just let the whole thing play from start to finish. You are not trying to understand everything on day 1. Love. You are exposing your brain to raw material, the same way a baby is exposed to raw sound for months before ever attempting a word. Day 2 adds your voice for the first time. Take that same clip from day 1 and play it again, but this time, pause the audio after each individual sentence and repeat what you just heard, out loud, as closely as you can manage. You will stumble constantly. You might only manage to get 1 or 2 words out for some sentences, and that's completely normal. Don't skip ahead or get frustrated. Every attempt, even a broken one, is strengthening the physical bridge between your ears and your mouth. This is called the listen and repeat method, and its power comes from repetition, not perfection. You are literally teaching your brain to produce the sounds it's hearing. 1 sentence at a time. Dry. Day 3 is shadowing, no more pausing aloud. Play the same audio, or a new short clip if you're feeling confident, and speak along with it in real time, without stopping the recording. You will fall behind. You will mumble through parts you can't keep up with. That's fine. Keep going anyway. Don't hit pause. This trains your brain to process English at its actual, natural speed, the real speed native speakers use in daily life, not the artificially slowed down speed of a classroom listening exercise. Native speakers do not wait for you to translate. What? Shadowing forces your brain to adapt to that real speed because it simply doesn't give you the option to fall back on translation. Say, Day 4 is about building your own sentences from what you've absorbed. Pull 2 or 3 specific phrases straight out of the audio you've been using and reuse them in brand new sentences about your own life. If the speaker said, I used to, you might say, I used to live in a small town. I used to be afraid of dogs. I used to hate mornings, but now I actually enjoy them. You are taking language you've borrowed through listening and making it genuinely your own by attaching it to your own real experiences. Day 5 is talking to yourself out loud. And I promise this isn't strange. It's one of the most underrated tools in language learning that almost nobody actually does. When you're alone, cooking, getting dressed, walking somewhere, narrate what you're doing in English out loud in real time. I'm making coffee. I can't find my keys again. I'm running late. Keep it simple and unpolished. The value here isn't in sounding impressive. It's that you are forming original sentences in English with zero translation happening in your head, because there's no one to perform for and no test to pass. You're just thinking in English, live, for the first time. 6. Day 6, you find a real human being to talk to a friend, a classmate, a coworker, or an online language exchange partner if you don't have anyone nearby. Keep the topics light and low pressure. Your weekend, your favorite food, your job, a show you've been watching. Do not worry about mistakes, worry about continuing. If you don't know a word, describe around it instead of freezing. Don't know the word umbrella? Say, the thing you hold over your head when it rains. This skill, called circumlocution, of talking your way around a gap in your vocabulary instead of stopping dead in your tracks, will serve you for the rest of your life in every language you ever learn. 7 is reflection. And this is where the change becomes visible to you. Go back to the very first clip you used on day 1 and listen to it again from the start. Say, You will notice almost immediately how much more of it makes sense. Now, words that were a blur a week ago now stand out clearly. Then, without notes and without rehearsing a perfect script in your head first, try speaking out loud about the topic of that audio in your own words. You will not be flawless. You will still stumble to start. But you will be miles ahead of where you started 7 days ago. And more importantly than the actual improvement in your English, you will feel the difference in your own confidence. I want to be completely honest with you here, because I never want to oversell this to you. This is not a magic trick. 7 days. You will not sound like you grew up speaking English. That kind of fluency takes years of consistent effort, not a single week. But what this method genuinely does accomplish in 7 days is something arguably more valuable than perfect grammar. It shifts English out of the anxious, overthinking part of your brain and into the instinctive, automatic part. It makes the sounds of the language familiar instead of foreign. It replaces the feeling of sitting a test with the feeling of having a real conversation. And that shift from fear to familiarity is the actual foundation that real, long-term fluency gets built on top of. Let me tell you about a student I once had, because I think his story will stay with you the way it stayed with me. He was an engineer from Vietnam, genuinely brilliant on paper. He could read dense technical manuals in English without any trouble at all, could write flawless technical reports. But he had never once spoken a full sentence out loud in front of the class, not in 3 months of lessons. He told me, quietly, after class one day, that he rehearsed sentences in his head over and over, polishing them. And by the time he felt ready to say them out loud, the moment in the conversation had always already passed. We tried this exact 7-day process together, listening on day 1, repeating on day 2, full shadowing by day 3, talking to the mirror in his kitchen every single morning by day 5, describing his breakfast, his commute, his frustrations with his boss. By day 7, he wasn't fluent. I want to be clear about that. But he raised his hand in class for the first time in 3 months, and told a full story about his weekend, mistakes and all, without stopping once to search for a word. A surprise. He looked genuinely surprised at himself when he finished. That moment, that exact look on his face, is what I'm hoping this week gives to you too. I want to leave you with one more idea before we begin, because I think it might be the most important sentence in this entire lesson. Simple sentences. Spoken with confidence will always communicate better than perfect sentences buried in hesitation. Go and actually listen to how native speakers talk in everyday, unscripted conversation. Not in movies, not in prepared speeches, but in real life. Their sentences are short. They use fillers like and you know. They make grammar mistakes constantly, all the time, and nobody in the room even notices, let alone judges them for it. Communication was never actually about perfection. It was always only about connection. So here's the challenge I'm giving you. Put the grammar book down for 1 week, just one. Just listen, just repeat, just speak. Even when it's messy, even when it's broken, even when it's just one word at a time at first. You already have more English inside you right now than you realize. Years of vocabulary, years of grammar rules, sitting there quietly, fully intact, just waiting for permission to come out. This week, I want you to give yourself that permission